Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com. And today we have Robert Lee from Lesix Agency with us. Robert, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you having me here.
Awesome. So, for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Robert Lee. I live outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And what I do is be the most present, happiest father and husband that I can be in my life. And as I was explaining to you before we came on, that means I have to navigate two requirements to be a happy and present father. That means I have to be home with my wife and girls who are not naturally extroverted people like I am. But then I have to be communicating with people like you on a near daily basis to help solve problems and be present in their lives as well. So what I do is I build a business around that sort of conflict and cloud. And actually, I help people find the resolution to their cloud and their conflicts so that they can meet their necessary requirements to help meet their goals in their life, and everybody wins because of it.
Okay, so what inspired you to start Lesix Agency?
So I started the Lesix Agency going back to that goal that I talked about. In 2018, I bought a direct mail company outside of Atlanta. And I bought that direct mail company because it was the natural next step in my business progression. I had been a consultant for 10-ish years on my own inside of Atlanta, working with a variety of different clients. And I had already had this dream and vision to own direct mail, a direct mail firm. Well, 2018 came, I bought one of my vendors, and by 2023, that business had kind of burned out. The reason being is we got through COVID, we got through all of those sort of economic shocks that came with the pandemic, that come with buying a business that you didn't start. And in October or August of 2022, my wife and I were expecting our third child, our son, and unfortunately we lost him when she was about 6 or 7 months pregnant. And that started the spiral down. And 9 months later, after dealing with some leadership issues inside of the company and then dealing with the loss of my father, I then went through a self-destructive phase, destroyed that direct mail business, and found myself unemployed, I guess, for lack of a better way of saying it. I mean, I was always self-employed, but I was just kind of restarting. And I had this kind of side hustle with the direct mail company called the Lesix Agency. And I started to put my energy and focus on that, and really started with the basics of understanding why it is that I was not set up to succeed, understanding what I needed to do to align myself to those necessary requirements I talked about, and start building a business. And then I realized through the course of that this is a model that everybody needs, and it helps everybody to also meet their goal and live within those requirements that they have to meet to do it.
Yeah, I think it's really like a smart thing to do. Like you're doing same thing for your clients that you're doing for yourself.
Well, and here's the thing about a lot of businesses out there. The thing that for me, it doesn't help anybody to sell them my books, to sell them my products, to sell them my services, if they can't make money, if they can't meet their goal, if they can't resolve that conflict themselves, then all I'm doing is taking. And the problem is that in that business that I had that failed, it was only set up to take. It wasn't ever set up to support somebody else's success. It was the way so many businesses are. And you see that time and time again. Buy my books, buy my class, buy my course, buy my software, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. But very few people ever come in and the first thing that they say is, I am here to immediately make you money. It isn't that way. And honestly, that's what I needed in my business. I needed my staff to function that way, but they didn't because I didn't provide them the system to do it. I want my clients to just understand they're not alone. And if they're not alone, if we're in this together, if everybody wins, everybody's happy. When everybody's happy, they're present. And when they're present, their businesses and their lives tend to succeed. It's as simple as that. It doesn't get more complicated than that. And it's a fantastic business model. It's a business mentality. It's a way of thinking clearly about what it is that we do that, frankly, just not everybody is exposed to as much as they should be and they need to be.
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing similar thing. What I'm doing for myself, I'm doing the same thing for my clients.
Good, good. Brother, you're doing the right thing, man. And I'm sure that that brings a sense of joy to your life that you
Yes,
desperately want and need.
exactly. Like there is less complication in life. Okay. If something works for me, then chances are it will going to work for my clients too. So it's become everyone's grow quickly this way. Yeah.
And it I mean, I see you have the guitar there sitting on your couch behind you, right?
Yeah.
It's got to make that music that you play so much sweeter when you just pull up the when you pull the guitar up to your chest and you start strumming a D chord or something like that, and it just sounds so beautiful, and you just know that you're hitting the strings in the right way. You have your fingers in the right place. I mean, that's the beauty of life, right? I mean, that's the beauty of business, and it's just an amazing thing that we can do that with the people that we work with, and we primarily work with real estate professionals here in the U.S. So those are real estate schools, brokerages, associations, individual agents, because they are all really self-employed individuals. And if we can help people in real estate find a path to success, I mean, we can really help anybody do it.
Exactly.
Make
Okay. So
beautiful music, and the world is a better place.
exactly. Okay. So when people reach out to you for your help, what are the problems they're normally facing?
So I mean, there are a variety of problems. And oftentimes when people come in and they just kind of brain dump what their challenges are, I just let them brain dump. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the first thing they need to be able to do is just to be able to talk. The thing I try not to do in that process is stop them from talking. So I can't tell you exactly if there's a common problem or uh, but the common problem tends to be not that there's an experience in the sense of like my business is failing or I'm not making any money, but there is a common experience in the fact that just not a lot of people have said just let's just talk. I'm here to listen. And I will oftentimes ask questions like, why do you think that's the case? Why do you think this happened? Why did this occur? How did you do something that had the consequence of this? Because ultimately, the other thing that everybody has in common from the need to just vent and brain dump is the fact that every single business has one constraint, has one bottleneck that is preventing that business and those business owners from making more sales. It isn't the fact that they're not doing it the way that I would want to do it. It's the fact that there is something that is preventing throughput. What we call throughput sales. I mean, that's essentially what it is. So by taking all of that brain dump that they've provided us, we have some AI employees that are built that help us literally in real time take all of that information, identify the root cause, and then start to develop a plan of how it is that they can address that root cause and start making sales without spending a tremendous amount of money. Like the one thing that I'm very proud of in our sales process, and I'll fully admit it is our sales process, is that regardless if you buy from us or not, you have a plan of action. You have a strategic focus that will immediately result in more money in the bank account. And that's the commonality. That's the thing people have when they come to us is that need to vent, that constraint, and that path to get through that constraint so that they can go out there and make more money. Doesn't matter the problem, doesn't matter the business type, doesn't matter the situation. That is the commonality between everybody we talk to.
Can you share a recent case study?
Say that again.
Can you share a recent success story of your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So, and one example I'll tell you about this is an example I'm incredibly proud of. And this is a buddy of mine, a colleague of mine that we're now in this joint venture together with called Tacticy. But he sells marketing services and software to mattress dealers, like basically those kind of secondhand mattress dealers, mattress by appointment. And we were able to use the same process to help him identify how he could modify his business without making any more investment, without taking any more necessary time, without necessarily hiring more staff, but just refocusing some small tweaks that he could do to absolutely increase the sales of his clients that then increases his sales. And I'm incredibly proud of the fact that he's been able to see some genuine results in a very short amount of time as a result of it. And this is just one such story in a number of stories. Uh, we're a case study as well. I mean, again, I was the first business that I really consulted when rebuilding after I had crashed out on everything. And now I work about 10 to 15 hours a week. I have staff that works about 10 to 15 hours a week. Everything is very well defined and very well structured, and I can be present and be home, spend time with people like you, and go out there and do amazing things. And like I said, anybody has access to be able to achieve that.
I think there should be some kind of mindset shift to work for only 10 or 15 hours a week, because I have seen many people who can do that, but they're still making bad decision. Okay,
Hmm.
so that they don't get to the
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that it's not necessarily a mindset shift. Not. I mean, we hear a lot about mindset and your values and not taking things too seriously and a lot of the stuff that people talk about. But if you're familiar with the theory of constraints, which everything I've been talking about is TOC, then Dr. Ellie Goldratt, who developed and really started that TOC methodology, you know, for him, the mindset was clear thinking. If I had to phrase it was just thinking about the cause and effect relationship of the things that you do and in the reality that you operate within, and understanding how that cause and effect relationship between experiences that you have really leads down to that one simple reality. And for him, as long as you followed some rules, some basic rules, your mentality stayed pretty consistent. And that first rule is that reality, the things that we experience, are inherently simple. And what he meant by that is we could be observing 900 different things in the way that our business operates, and 900 different struggles every day, and 900 different challenges. But it comes down to one thing, that constraint. You focus on that, you tend to resolve a good chunk of those challenges that you're experiencing. That level of simplicity makes it easy to address business struggles. But he also had things in terms of the way that we worked with people. We don't blame people for failure. People are inherently good. People try to do the right thing. We have to look at the system around them. And if we build that system to be simple, they tend to succeed because people are naturally good. People genuinely want to do the right thing. There is no such thing as compromise or conflict, right? We don't compromise what it is that we expect. We don't sit there and sell ourselves short, and we don't expect our clients to sell them short, right? Reality does not have conflict. When there is conflict, we have to begin questioning our assumptions about what is taking place, start questioning why that cause and effect relationship that we see and observe is really happening. And when we start to question those assumptions, oftentimes we understand that conflict is because we are expecting something that isn't consistent with the reality that we're experiencing. Right. So again, I don't necessarily call it a mentality or a mind shift or mentality shift or whatever term you want to use. It's just the acceptance of clear thinking as the right way to think through business challenges, because clear thinking is simple, it's consistent, it's focused on everybody winning, and you have enormous breakthroughs when you think about your business challenges that way.
But with the thing you said, the cause and effect, I read about it. I think it was said by Earl Nightingale, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So actually, people around me, they say all the time that everything is fate, and then I say everything is cause and effect. There's nothing like fate.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And I will tell you, right, is that when you understand that, you obviously find that point at which you can really focus your attention and start creating some very positive change and start creating something really meaningful and impactful. And I mean, even take the reality of what we see with AI right now. I mean, this is something that I just don't think a lot of people understand all that well, because they are beginning with this assumption in many cases that AI is going to destroy our jobs. Or if they're, really in a popular culture, they think that the matrix is here and we're just buying into the simulation around us. But in reality, you have to question your assumptions about and you have to question your assumptions about what technology means in our lives and what the focus is supposed to really be. And when you go back to those rules that we talk about in terms of clear thinking, people are good, you know, there is no compromise. You understand how you can use technology to genuinely create value in people's lives, which is what we've done. I mean, the big product that we've created is, we call it the 90-minute marketing department, because realtors' lives, real estate professionals' lives, are full of conflict every day, or what they perceive as conflict, because they don't have enough time to do this. They have to do this house showing, and they have to fill out this paperwork, and they have to be on 24/7. And that's just not the reality for them. But because that's the way they view the reality around them, they don't use AI effectively. So we actually help them to implement these processes so that they can implement AI more effectively and actually create something of value in their lives and in the lives of their clients.
Okay. So you read a lot of books. So can you tell us like which one of those books is your favorite and have the most impact on you?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not going to say one book, but I'm going to say one series of books. And if you let me pull it off my desk real quick, I just happen to have it here. This is a book that everybody should read. It's called The Goal. The Goal is a business novel. It's not written like a technical specification. It's not written like a book that says, here's all the wonderful things that I've done and how you've done it. This is Dr. Goldrat's initial book that he wrote to explain the theory of constraints. And it's written like I said, as a novel. So it's an easy story to read. If you have it on audiobook, I think it takes about 6 to 8 hours to read, or listen to. And it explains how simple it really is to solve business challenges that seem insurmountable and that you can't overcome them, and how those challenges also have an impact on our personal lives. But then there's an entire series of books that come after that. Another one is called It's Not Luck, which is the direct sequel to The Goal, where you follow the next story of the characters in that book and you actually learn and understand and see the tools in practice, the TOC tools that Dr. Goldrat developed to help with that clear thinking. There's something called Critical Chain that explains a project management perspective and the rules of flow that Dr. Goldrat's daughter wrote and took his notes to write after his passing. There's a series of other books as well. One is The Choice, that is actually more of a conversation between Dr. Goldrat and his daughter. And then a great one, if you're in technology, is called Necessary but Not Sufficient, where Dr. Goldrat talked about the concept of value being more important than the technology itself. That if your software or your processes or your business model doesn't impact the direct bottom line of your clients, you're providing them something that they have to have, but that they can't survive on alone. Those books collectively provide the basis of my business knowledge at this point in my life. They're simple, they're great reference tools, they're very easy to read, and they make an immediate impact on any sort of business. In It's Not Luck, chapter 22 lays out a clear sales process. We've adapted that sales process to our business, and we close about 80% of the sales calls that we have within about 2 months.
That's great. Okay, so
It makes it easy to not work all that much.
yeah, that's the whole point, being more effective.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, the goal in my life, the singular goal, everything has to conclude with me being a happy and present father. And I've told you what those requirements are. And so everything that we do, these books help us align to that goal, how we service our clients, how we teach them to service their clients are all oriented around helping them meet their goal, helping their clients meet their goal, and further on down the line. It is so simple to do when you really internalize the lessons of these books.
Okay, so for our listeners who want to know more about you and want to connect with you, where can they go?
Yeah, so everything that you need to connect is at rob.lesix.com. That's rob.lesix.com. You'll find access to our ultimate guide to AI employees. You'll find all of my personal social profiles on there. You'll find all of the social profiles for the Lesix Agency. You can schedule a discovery session with us where we'll go through that process of identifying your constraint and coming up with some creative solutions to overcome that. That is really my kind of link tree site that everybody can get access to a variety of different resources. If you want to learn more about the Lesix Agency itself, go to lesix.agency. That's LESIX.agency, where you can see how it is that we help real estate professionals also get access to those resources and learn more about what we do as a company. Either way, you've heard my goal. I will continually restate it. I need to be able to connect with people, though, so I would love to connect with anybody that wants to understand what their goal is and how it is in just about an hour of time. You can go out there and figure out the way to start making money tomorrow that you're not making right now.
Awesome, Robert. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. It was really great chatting with you.
You too, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.